is about to end, but not in the way you think. We are approaching the great solar flash, and once that event happens, those who feel ready to step into the fifth dimensional new Earth will continue a brand new life there, and those who are not ready yet and feel like they still need 3D lessons will continue on other 3D planets without the dark forces control. Life on the new Earth will look very different compared to what we're used to here in the 3D Matrix. And in this video, I will dive deep into how it will be like and what will come before, what will come after the solar flash, so stay here right with me. Hello guys, and warmly welcome back to my channel. I am the only Pearl, and I am here to help you, heal you, shift you, and share very unique knowledge with you. So please subscribe. Okay, let's start by talking about what will happen right before the flash. How do we know it's super close? The very last moments before the flash happens are said to be the darkest days we have seen yet. And by this, I don't want to scare you, but this is necessary because in those days, the heaviest sheddings will happen for both humanity and Gaia. And this is called the 3 days of darkness before ascension. Our sun is said to turn dark because it is storing that light energy, right? Like a supercomputer waiting to explode. So we know that we live in the last days on 3D Matrix Earth when the sun turns dark. This information comes mostly from QHHT sessions, basically hypnosis sessions, and in those people sorry, I'm struggling with the word sessions, but in those people mostly describe these last days before ascension as chaos reaching its absolute peak, people losing themselves, wars and global turmoil increasing, and just a huge turmoil happening on Earth because the darkness that's right now still under the surface has finally come up during those times. I know this sounds scary, and even I relate to struggling heavily here, especially as the darkness comes up and this human resonance spikes. Some days are very heavy, but I beg you and I beg myself to just keep holding on, because once the energetic dam breaks, we will step into a paradise. So all the darkness that we had to endure before it will be worth it, I promise. And if you focus on shedding your trauma and density before the ascension, and probably we still have plenty of time to do that, we do. So if you just do that, the process will be so much lighter and so much more pleasant for you. So if you just do that, you will be completely fine. And what will happen when the dam finally breaks, when the flash finally happens? This is said to be a moment where us humans, we have to lay down and go into a sleeping state because our bodies cannot handle that much light coming right at us. So we will be in a state kind of like coma, or like we're sleeping, and we will basically be in a bubble where we will be outside our body, we will be in the spirit form, and we will be met by our spirit team and us starseeds who had to separate from our galactic families. Will be met by our galactic family members in that bubble, and in that bubble time will be frozen, so there will be no rush to exit, and we can just exist in pure love and relief. And what will happen in that bubble is basically we will go through our incarnation, everything that happened. We will be shown the deeper purpose to all the things that happened and all the things we did and chose, and There will be no judgment, no punishment, pure understanding, and it will be a moment of relief to see why things happened the way they did. And we will be shown what we did right, what didn't go so right, what we can learn from this, and then move on. For those of us who have done the necessary energy work and released their traumas so our bodies don't hold too much density, when the flash enters our bodies, the system, it will feel incredibly good. The best way to describe this feeling is a full body orgasm, maximized and prolonged. I know, but that's how life outside this hijacked earth really feels like, because that is source energy. Essentially, what source God, the energy is, it's pure love, enjoyment, and euphoria. When we feel ready to exit that bubble, again there's zero rush, as time will be frozen. But when we feel ready to leave the bubble and continue our soul journey, we can choose from different options. Us starseeds can choose from going to our home planet, because when the solar flash happens, our mission on Earth is completed and we can go back home. Or then we can choose to continue our incarnation and live our incarnation until the end on 5D New Earth. And many of us can serve as way showers, teachers, mentors, or healers also, or just explore and enjoy the new beautiful reality on 5D New Earth. Or then we can go to even Source or different kinds of vacation planets like Sirius B, for example, which is said to be a paradise Earth and a planet specifically meant for soul healing. Yeah, and those who do not feel ready to go to 5D yet, those are mostly Earth souls who still have 3D lessons to learn, and their soul feels like they need more 3D lessons. Those souls can go into other 3D planets, for example in the Pleiades, that are not hijacked. I think Pleiades hosts 3D planets also, so that is one choice. Or if their soul feels ready, they can step onto New Earth as well. And their souls will choose accordingly by where their soul feels like they are on their soul path. Everyone has their own story, their own journey, so it's not a competition who has evolved more, who is in 3D, who is in 9D. It's all individual. And now you might ask yourself, do I have to say goodbye to my loved ones that I've lived my life here on Earth with? But the thing is, after the solar flash happens, this will not matter anymore, because we will be back in our natural state, where we understand fully that every soul has their own individual path, and we understand that there will be zero attachments, zero grief, zero separation anxiety, zero negative feelings. We will understand that we are actually souls. We are meant to be on our individual paths. We're not meant to be attached to each other. So we won't feel anything. We won't feel any missing or any grief. Whether your loved ones will continue on the same realm as you depends on both of your individual choices and soul journey. Because while you might be ready for 5D, your loved ones might not be, and thus you have to continue on other realms. But you will be automatically fine with whatever happens, because we will be back into our truth, back into our natural state. So finally, what will life be like for those who choose 5D New Earth? How will 5D New Earth look like? As the dark forces and their matrix will be fully gone, Earth will essentially work like other fifth dimensional planets do. There will be full freedom, no forced work, no forced education, financial system. Everything will be provided us for free as it should be. That's natural. Our current survival matrix is not. Our job will simply be to exist in truth, grow as souls, explore and expand our spiritual abilities, and serve Earth by doing what we feel called to do, what we love to do. There will be no separation, no darkness, no duality. No one will lack anything. And thus, because our egos will be fully dissolved, we won't feel any kind of inadequacy, any kind of jealousy, or hierarchy will not exist. Everyone will love each other equally. Everyone will love everyone. We will live in full unity, and all our so-called matrix flaws like DNA deformations, acne, obesity, inflammation, other types of illnesses will be fully gone, so we will all look incredibly beautiful and vital because our souls will vibrate so high and we will be full of life force energy, so we will look so vital, so good. They say that on 5D New Earth we will look like ourselves, but the upgraded version of ourselves. So basically the most optimal genetic version of yourself is who and how you will look like on 5D New Earth. We will also have access to top tier technology that we were being kept away from here on the 3D Matrix Earth. For example, med beds. But those are said to be not so needed on 5D Earth because when the flash happens, our entire being will be upgraded to our optimal state. And because our life force energy will naturally be so high, there will be no need to sleep or eat, but many will choose to eat fruits, for example, and many will choose to sleep, for example, out in the open with animals, because when we sleep, we can go into the astral realms, so we can still sleep and eat, but it will not be needed like right now. We will communicate via telepathy. Telepathy is our natural way to communicate as souls. Spoken words use a lot of energy and it's draining and is not the most optimal and natural way to communicate, especially in higher realms than 3D. So we will communicate via telepathy, and we will even be able to communicate with animals through that. And we will basically have such a different relationship with animals because on non-hijacked planets, animals are our best friends, even the wild animals. And animals attacking each other is another product of the Matrix and the dark forces. It's not natural, and thus it will not happen anymore on 5D Earth. So all the wild animals that we now see as dangerous will be our best friends, and we will be able to communicate with them. In the 5th dimension, we will also be able to instantly manifest and teleport. And we will have open galactic contact with all the different ET species we desire to communicate with and learn from. Mostly Pleiadians, because those are the closest species to humanity. They look very human-like and they're very relatable for humans. So mostly Pleiadians, but also Sirians, Arcturians, and Lyrans and more. I know this sounds too good to be true, but this is how life is supposed to look like. This is how life works on places that are not hijacked. Earth is completely unnatural and it works backwards. So for us it sounds too good to be true, but that is because we've been living on a prison planet. And once the ascension happens, you will see how lovely reality is supposed to look like, and how lovely living will be, and who and how God is really like. Because we will finally have our true connection back to source. Okay guys, this was it for this time. Thank you for listening. I hope you learned something new, and I hope this gave you power to keep continuing until the ascension point. Remember that this is all information that I have learned, but because this is so esoteric, I might be wrong. So always take things with a grain of salt. But I follow my intuition, and my intuition has been shown to be very strong. So I go with that, and I love you guys so much. Take care. See you soon. Bye bye.